All right. Well, as the saying goes, when John Tobacco's away, Frank will play. Now, you are watching Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. We're going to be back on Monday. We have a special Memorial Day show planned. We're going to have Richard Hoffman here. We're going to have Richard Stratton here. And in just a moment, you're going to meet Rich Valdez, one of the candidates running against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. One quick item that I wanted to bring to your attention is, you know, there's now a big dispute about the Pentagon has apparently asked Congress to reimburse the Taliban for their travel expenses. Let me tell you something. Irrespective of how you feel about the war in Afghanistan or anything like that, we should not be paying the Taliban to attend peace talks. Bottom line. Full stop. The other interesting thing that I thought was worth noting is that with the continued drumbeat for a war in Iran by some members of the administration, it's worth looking at the previous instances of military intervention that we've seen thus far. So we've seen Syria. We've now attacked Syria twice under the auspices of them using chemical weapons. Now, it turns out newly leaked documents, speaking about WikiLeaks, newly leaked documents show that apparently the whole rationale for attacking Syria, that they used chemical weapons, is totally fallacious. So as the same people who told you that Syria used chemical weapons try to explain to you why we need to go to war with Iran, be a little skeptical. Anybody that retweets me in the next minute, I will read your name momentarily, at Frank Morano. But this is a real treat. First, we have, let me take you back in time. We've been telling you all about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's war on cauliflower. Let's go straight to the Congresswoman's mouth herself. This was AOC on her Instagram explaining why cauliflower is synonymous with colonialism.
It's too hard to do a green space that grows yucca instead of, I don't know, cauliflower or something. What you're doing is that you're taking a colonial approach to environmentalism, and that is why a lot of communities of color get resistant to certain environmentalist movements, because they come with a colonial lens on them.
Who better to turn to than the man that's running against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in 2020, the host of the This Is America podcast, Rich Valdez. Rich, thanks for giving us a couple of minutes this
Frank,
morning.
it's my pleasure.
All right, give me your reaction. Is cauliflower colonialism?
No, and what's even worse is that she talks about yucca, and I'm a Boricua too, and I like yucca, but she suggests that white people wouldn't know how to cook plátanos or anything else, and that we need to take things easy, as if people from communities of color can't understand how to cook these vegetables.
So now, by the way, if people aren't familiar with the This Is America podcast, how's the best place for them to get it?
Oh, anywhere that podcasts are available, or at therichvaldezwithin.com.
All right. How do you see the 2020 election shaping up? Not necessarily in terms of Congress, but in terms of the presidential election. As a conservative, as a supporter of the president's, who do you think the best candidate is for the president to face, and who's the person he should be most afraid of?
Well, I would love to see Donald Trump square up with creepy Joe Biden, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the creepy Joe is going to try and soften up Trump inside the blue wall in Missouri and Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Excuse me. I think that's the strategy, but I think it's likely going to be Grandpa Bernie Sanders.
One issue that I actually agreed with AOC on, and I'm curious about your take, in 20 seconds, she's proposed limiting the amount of interest that credit card companies can charge their consumers. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think we have to just redefine what usury is and stick with that.
Makes sense to me. Rich Valdez, you can occasionally hear him referred to on the Mark Levin Show, where he serves as the associate producer. You work with the Chris Christie administration,
yeah,
right?
Sure.
And you really want to check out the This Is America podcast. But as promised, I want to thank Hank Purpura, Big Mike, David Caponetto, Edward Gioli, Patrick Cullen, the president of the New York State Supreme Court Officers Association, and dementia champion David Breakspear. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everybody. This is Liquid Lunch. We'll be back on Monday with a very, very special show. You want to stay in touch with me? You can find me on Twitter at Frank Morano, or you can email me at morano@nycradio.com. We'll see you on Monday.